Okay, I'll bring everybody in. It's going to take a while. There's 9 people that I don't know who they are. Good morning. I'm Judge Person. I welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. And again, I'm Judge Person. I'm watching as people's audio connects, so I'll probably repeat myself just a bit until I am clear that most people are connected. I am Judge Person. I'm the judge of the Temple Municipal Court. I welcome everybody to court this morning. There'll be a number of announcements that I'll make, and also just some sort of brief overview for move through a court. But I did want to let you know a few things before we get started. I do want to let you know a few things about how things work through a courtroom. Give me just a moment. Okay, and so, sorry, there's some late folks too. Let me get those folks in. Okay, so before we get started, there were a few people, I'm not sure quite who they are, which means I won't have the right file. There was a person named Sleese, not sure how to say it. Can you unmute and maybe get on the screen and tell me your name?
Good morning. Yes, Celeste Thompson.
Precious memories.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Got it. And just for the purpose of the meeting, I'll change the name, but it will change back when you log out.
Okay.
Great. I just want to keep track of folks, make sure I keep those places in line. And then a woman came in sort of just recently. Oh, the audio is not on yet. I'll send a chat to her.
Can you hear me now?
And see, sometimes I have not very many people that I can't identify, but today it's a number of people. Gentleman with the name Shock Volt, could you tell me the name that I might have on my file? And I just sent you an unmute request. If you could unmute and tell me your name.
Margaret Dixon.
So Miss Dixon, I already have you, but this person has Shock Volt written on there, and I'm trying to find out who that is. Can you just say your name?
Patricia Harris.
Okay, hang on, everybody. I'm talking to a gentleman.
Patricia Harris.
Not everybody. The person I sent the unmute request to, he unmuted, but he's not talking. It might be.
Mine say Desmond Holmes.
Yeah, I've got your name. Okay, well, I'm just going to remute that person and I'll try that again. So the way that the technology works, maybe we just need to back up into that, is that while I give you the freedom to unmute yourself, I'm actually talking to one person at a time, and I'll send that person an unmute request if I'm trying to get them to tell me who they are. And the answer, if I can't figure out who you are, is you're welcome to watch online, but I'm going to remove you from the meeting. So I'm trying to pull the right files. I need to know who folks are. Zoom user, could you tell me who you are in the gray shirt? You're going to have to say your name.
Dustin Odekirk.
Can you spell the last name?
Oudekerk.
Thank you. It's going to take a long time doing it this way, but I'll do it. Okay, then I had a person. I'll try again, gentlemen or ma'am. Shock Volt SV55. I'm asking that person in a green t-shirt to unmute which you've done.
Latricia Harris.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Latricia Harris.
Thank you. Okay. See, I won't have a Zoom user file, so I have to try to pull the file. There's an iPhone 2, black t-shirt, necklace, long hair. Can you tell me your name, please?
Faith Diaz,
Spell the last name, please.
Diaz.
Diaz. Thank you, Faith Diaz. Okay. And let's see. Adelina, can you unmute and tell me your full name?
Adelina Flores.
Are you here with another person?
No.
Okay, Flores or EZ?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Not finding anyone listed. We'll work on this end to see who it is. Oh, there it is. I see. I see you now.
Okay.
Thank you. And Gloria, no, still not connected over there. I've got a couple of telephone folks, a 254 area code 667. You'll get an unmute request. If you could please tell me who you are. And I've got, yes, you're unmuted. Can you say your name, please, on the telephone?
My name is Jacqueline Crawford.
Thank you. I'll be back with you, Miss Crawford. I will call your name. I've noticed with phone callers, and the phone is fine. We'll do our best, but I will tell you that sometimes people just kind of get used to the sound and they tune it out a little bit. So just be
Yes, ma'am.
aware. Yes, ma'am. Just be aware that just listen for your name and I'll request the unmute. The reason I keep people muted is not to shut people down. It's that if we all start having our sound on at the same time, we will not hear anything. So it's just a way to keep things rolling. There's a 254 area code ending in 162, or the last 3 to 4 digits would be 162. Could you please tell me your name?
Candy Ayers.
Thank you.
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
got you down. And again, I know you're on the phone and that's great. We'll work with you, but just keep an eye out for your name. And thank you. And then I've got notes. Okay. I did also want to call out to Margaret Dixon, if you can unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, you're on the pretrial day docket today, and your case was dismissed by the prosecutor this morning. So you are no longer needed to be in the group. We will email that to the email where we set the case up today for today's hearing. And so it will get sent to you through email. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank
You have a
for
blessed day.
coming in, too. Okay, so the next thing I do is, what I've found is that it's very helpful if people know just a little bit about how things move through a court. And I just see Gloria got connected. Gloria, can you unmute and tell me the full name of the person who has a case?
No, ella dijo, Gloria, dime todo. Dijo tu nombre. ¿Yo por qué?
Is this Samuel Hernandez Ortega?
Yuri. Sí, por favor, dile que dile unmute.
So I don't know who
Hello?
this is. Yeah, hi. With whom am I speaking?
Samuel.
Okay. Samuel,
Hernandez. My bad.
full name, please.
Oh, Samuel Hernandez Ortega.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So I think what's going to happen now is that I think it would be better for you to come over this morning and I'll work with you in the lobby with the clerk. So y'all head on over with an adult.
All right.
We'll see you in about 20 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wait, is it?
Okay, so when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. When you give a plea, you're giving an answer or response to that accusation. There are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, no contest. Our law presumes that we're not guilty. If you plead guilty or no contest, you're moving that case in one direction. If you plead not guilty, we're moving in another direction, and the court will respond to the plea that you enter. Before you enter a plea, it is important that you understand that this is a Class C court. The cases filed here are Class C offenses. They result in the imposition of fines and costs, but not jail time. Another thing to be aware of is that if you have a case here and you are sorry, I just got distracted. But prior to entering a plea, if you wish to meet with an attorney of your choice, you will want to let me know before I accept your plea. Judge, I'd like to meet with an attorney first, and I'll reschedule your case. We don't court appoint counsel in these kinds of cases, and there's a long-winded legal reason why that's true. If your plea has already been accepted, if we're already moving into sentencing or have moved into sentencing, we don't stop and meet with an attorney at that point. So the plea changes that right. It cuts that right off. It ends that right. So just be aware as you proceed forward. Many people are already in a sentence and we're working on that sentence. But for folks who I'm talking to for the first time, that's the way that part of it works. If you plead guilty, you're admitting that offense. If you plead not guilty, you are contesting that charge. If you plead no contest, you're not admitting or denying it. It's like a neutral way to enter a plea, but to move into sentencing. So with guilty or no contest, we move into sentencing. With not guilty, we move the case and advance it toward trial. The pretrial is meeting today. It's convenient. Many cases get resolved by the end of today, or they move toward a resolved type of state. Some cases don't. I don't have an opinion. I'm here to facilitate and move cases. That's the job that I have. I don't have an opinion about people's individual cases. But once I'm imposing a sentence, I do have a lot of things that I'm doing at that point, and I do ask for certain information. In connection with the plea paper that you were asked to fill out, you were probably asked to fill out a financial disclosure form. I do want to let you know with regard to that financial disclosure form, it's used in multiple ways. On the contested docket cases heading to trial, I'm using that form to schedule a bond. In the cases that are guilty or no contest pleas, I'm using that to adjust sentencing expectations that I would normally have. So just be aware that there are a few things going on at the same time. And there are multiple reasons why I ask for that information. And I don't ask it because it's a presumption of guilt. I ask it, really, I could make you fill the same form out multiple times, and that's not really smart. So I don't do things that way. I don't really need the files to be big to feel good about what we're doing here. That's not how we do things. So I just have one form for all the different purposes because it's the same information. And then that way, you're not having to redo everything all the time. The next thing I want to let you know is that the law will presume if you plead guilty or no contest, that the judge accepts your plea, finds you guilty, and it goes on your record. And in a Class C court, you pay the fines and costs. The judge imposes that sentence. In upper level courts, it's fines, costs, community service, and jail time. So here it's fines and costs. All right. The next thing I want to talk to you about is, with regard to fines and costs, I make adjustments based on income. So I do look at that income information that we did request. And I make adjustments based on what's called equity. I look at what to me as a judge I would deem to be fair or appropriate. The next thing I want to tell you is that with regard to something going on your record, in a Class C court, even if you plead guilty or no contest, there are still 4 ways to keep an item off of your record. They are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Let me explain briefly what those mean so that you have a review, but it will be rather quick. The information is also available on the court's website. Okay, so compliance dismissals are things that are designated by law that can be brought up to date and dismissed. I will look for those automatically without request, although you may ask me when it's your turn. Okay. I presume most people, first of all, the law says that the judge should do that. And the second thing is that I presume people would do that if they knew. So I just look. Those almost all require that you be on time to court, by the way. The second option is if you have a moving violation, you can gain a dismissal through a driver safety course option if you qualify and you successfully complete the program. Right now is a good time to tell you a little bit about how fines and costs work in the state of Texas. So in the state of Texas, fines are set by a judge and costs are set by the legislature. And the legislature is meeting right now. I don't know if they'll change it or not. They typically change it every session. Once they set it, though, the judge can't change those costs. Those are set by the legislature. They get collected first and they get sent to the state of Texas. By the way, folks, I don't know what's happening. People seem to be either disconnecting or getting a problem. If that happens to you, you need to try to log back on because, you could eventually lose your place in line, but it's the not showing up is subject to warrant. Okay. So don't hang up because this is your opportunity. You're always welcome to go online and just pay your ticket if you don't want the information. But I presume people want it or they wouldn't be here. Okay, so with regard to fines and costs, again, the legislature sets the costs. The fines are set by the judge. In the driving safety course option, the fine goes on hold. We do have to collect the court costs. It's mandatory. You do a course, you get your driving record turned in, you get your case dismissed, it goes off your record. The fine that was on hold gets waived. You save money, even though you pay for a course and a record and the court costs, it's less expensive than just taking the ticket, paying it, and having it go on your record. The reason for that is because people are often in a position, we know people do drive better after they've had a course. And that is a verifiable fact. And therefore the state has incentivized that program. The next thing I want to let you know is the third option, which is the deferred disposition option. A deferred or deferral will keep an item off of your record. Deferred means delay. Disposition means to make final. I delay making your case final. I put a court order in place that governs the dismissal. If you follow the rules of that paper, that is an order. If you follow the rules within that order, you gain a dismissal. In a Class C court, you're allowed to ask the judge for a deferral. In other types of courts, you have to only ask the prosecutor and come to an agreement and bring it to the judge for the judge to approve or disapprove. In a Class C court with 99% of the cases, you can actually just ask the judge on a plea of guilty or no contest. Guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred, is what that would look like. If you're wanting to do that, I don't look for that for you. That's one where you must ask the judge. If you're in the prosecutor arena, if you're on the pretrial docket, if you and the prosecutor come to an agreement, I am most likely to approve those agreements. I generally do. If you are asking me directly, then it's up to me to decide. Okay. So there's two ways to kind of get the same thing, but in both, you must be asking. It's not something that I automatically look like I do with the driving safety course option and with the compliance dismissals. The fourth way to gain a dismissal, I'm sorry, just to round that thought out on deferred, if you follow that order and it's listed in writing, you know what you need to do to gain a dismissal. Then if you follow the rules of that order, I sign that dismissal. Finally, the fourth option, I said there were 4 dismissal options. The fourth dismissal option is to successfully qualify for and successfully complete teen court. And teen court is for students who are high school, middle school, homeschool. It looks a lot like a deferred, but it works a little differently because the goal of of a teen court option is for that young person to really demonstrate that they are not going to get in trouble again, to take responsibility, to survive driving, to clean up and correct their criminal record, to open their options back up for the future for jobs, things like that. Okay. So if you're in high school, middle school, or homeschool, I'll be trying, I might even be a little pushy about trying to get you into teen court. Okay. So we're moving forward. I just need to make a quick message to the clerk. If we could let Sina speaks Spanish, if we could let her know that that young man is coming in. I think we need to talk to him about teen court. Okay. All right. And I need to identify them because there was too much of them. I don't know what they were doing, but I couldn't see them either or tell who was who. Okay. So moving along, Mr. Matson is the city's prosecutor, which means that he is the equivalent of a district attorney in the city court setting. Mr. Matson, could you just unmute and introduce yourself, please?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ryan Matson. I'm the prosecutor for Temple.
Thank you. So in connection with that, if you're meeting on the pretrial docket, it means that you have actually pleaded not guilty. And that means that I have a scheduling requirement that we meet. Today's a meeting, it's a pretrial. And I just peel that off into a separate sort of meeting room. And after that meeting, you'll come back into this room in order to get an update. And the reason that we do that is, as judge of the court, I would be presiding over the case at trial. And it is really important that I'm sort of sequestered off of any discussion as to facts, because I need to remain fair and neutral so that you have an opportunity to afford your constitutional right to a fair and impartial hearing. So I will go ahead and move Mr. Matson over to that meeting with the first person that logged in on that docket was Charmaine Gott. Charmaine Gott, can you unmute so that I can make sure that your audio is working?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. I'm going to move you over to that meeting with Mr. Matson. And yes, ma'am. And after that meeting, you'll come back over.
Yes, ma'am.
And I too will proceed forward. Let me kind of arrange files for just a quick moment. Give me just a quick moment. If I could have Jasmine Fully Love unmute and
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm well. I'm just I'm pulling your file. Give me just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I did receive everything that you sent in, and thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me kind of review where I think we are, and that way I make sure that we're where I think we are, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, ma'am.
So at this point, I have received a plea of guilty on the no driver's license charge. And let me just check in real quickly with a clerk on the assault charge. Do I have any paperwork? It's not scheduled till Thursday, but I would think we would have something. We have another charge, and I'm just checking on it. It is an assault by contact charge dated from December 20th of 2022. And I think it might be on the pretrial docket for Thursday. Let me double check. Yes, ma'am.
You said December 22? I don't have
No.
any.
Oh, December 20th, 2022 is a accusation date for an assault by contact. And I'm just pulling it up to see what we have. Okay, I have a dismissal in my tray for that case. So it looks like the prosecutor reviewed that case and that case is being dismissed. So we're not going to need to address it further at this time because it's getting addressed. It's being dismissed.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Right. So yeah. So we have a pre-screening process when something gets filed. It does go to the prosecutor for review, a pre-review. And you may not have become aware of it because the pre-review happens. And in this case, that pre-review resulted in that prosecutor deciding to decline the case. And you're welcome to have a copy of it, but I haven't signed the dismissal yet, but it's coming through the works, as they say. So that's not quite happened yet, but it's about to happen. I see it dated for a no later than Thursday date. And I thought we were scheduled for something then. I didn't want to bring you in twice. But that's actually for me to sign that document no later than that date.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, people file cases and it doesn't mean that, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're valid cases. They have to be screened by the district attorney in this case, the
Yes,
county
ma'am.
city attorney. And that's what's happened and that's being dismissed. Let's see. And I don't really know the reason.
Me either, Your Honor, because I actually had my baby on December
Get the
5th.
complaint too, if the complaint, the dismissal too. Yeah, we're gonna the clerk is gonna get it for us. Okay, Ms. Fully Love.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're waiting on that though, what I received from you was a plea of guilty on the driver's license charge, and this is dated January 17th of 2023. If you paid it at the window, the fines and costs are $181. And I received a plea of guilty, and I received a request for maybe some time to get a permit. And I received a request for a payment plan and then a disclosure of an hourly wage that didn't let me know whether you could afford a payment plan. So a lot of things came at me at once and they weren't where I could fully resolve it. It looks like you're on time to court. And I guess my question is, have you obtained your driver's license?
Yes, ma'am, I have. I actually have all my documentations, and I also did come into the clerk's office possibly like Wednesday.
Okay.
And I turned in my documentation, and I also have my papers right here that shows the appointment that I have next.
Okay, so just real quickly, is that an appointment to get a license, or is that, because I had that your note to me was you were getting a license on the 17th of April to get a permit.
Yes, ma'am. So like on the 17th, like I did go get my permit turned in.
Yeah.
And this is the paper that shows proof that I actually took my driver's course. And I
believe
actually
you.
passed it. And
Okay,
I turned that to you too.
Right. Okay. So you're saying we have your permit?
Yes, ma'am. You guys have everything that you guys need. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hang on. Let me run that down. I did sign the dismissal of the other case, and I'm printing it just to give you some information about what it's about. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The complaining person was a Preston Icy Sauls, and that was dismissed by the prosecutor. as not in the best interest of the state to pursue. And I just signed that dismissal. So the
Yes.
prosecutor has decided to decline the case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, on the other, I'm just looking to see if a dismissal is available. Has she had anything else? She's on time. 2017. So not in the last 2 years. Okay. And when? Yeah, I think she's able to. I think you're eligible for a dismissal. Give me just a moment to make sure. Because if I can sign that dismissal, I will sign it now. Let's see. There was no accident. And right. Release. Okay, yeah, she's good. Okay, I can sign a dismissal on the license charge, Ms. Fully Love. And so there's not going to be a need to make a payment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we will email those dismissals to you. Probably that's extra, so I don't scan it, but that's on the back, but the two dismissal type forms are there, and I just need to sign the one on the DL, and then we should be wrapped up. Okay, so the email that we used, Ms. Fully Love, on the set the meeting up today, that meeting, that email that we use, is that still a good email for you?
Yes, ma'am, it is. JasmineFullyLove254@gmail.com.
I think so. It's where you would have clicked the link to link over this morning.
Yes, ma'am. It's the same.
Okay, we're gonna email that to that email, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're good to go. Do you have any questions?
So you did receive everything though, correct? Like the
We did.
appointment summary?
We did,
Okay.
that's why I was able to sign the dismissal, yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mattson, I know that you were talking to Charmaine Gott, and let's go ahead and check in on that case. Where are we?
Your Honor, I believe that Ms. Gott was in the process of a compliance dismissal. I wanted to see if paying a $10 fee was still an option for her to have that done.
On the, what case are we talking about?
Operating a vehicle in an unsafe condition.
Let me look and see. I don't. I need to look at, what's the unsafe condition?
It was a broken windshield, but that has since been repaired.
So odd, because that's normally cited as defective equipment. That's why it's not grabbing my attention. Give me a second to look at it. And of course, all the systems are as slow as possible. Yeah, it's a broken windshield and let's see. So we have 3 cases and the one for today is permitting operating that unsafe condition. Prosecutor, if you recommend it, then I would be willing to sign it.
Okay, that is my recommendation, Your Honor, because the windshield has been repaired.
Okay, and I think we have that in the file.
Yes, we do. There are
However,
photos.
Ms. Scott, what that would require is that you pay a $10 fee today.
Yes, ma'am. I could do that.
Okay, can you come by the court to do that?
Yes, I can come up there today.
What time should we look for you?
As soon as I get off of here, I can drive up there.
Okay, it's 9:40, so let's say by 10:30.
Yeah, that'll work. And
Okay,
y'all take card?
I think we do. Let me ask about that.
Okay.
Can we take
Okay.
it? I think we can for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The
Alright.
other two cases are set for a final pretrial on the 31st of May. So we'll see you for those 2 cases then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you at the window shortly. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Mattson, I am moving you forward with Leah McHorse. Leah McHorse, can you unmute so that I can make sure that your audio is
Yes, ma'am.
perfect? Okay, I will move you over to that meeting. And after that meeting, I think you've already sorted it out, but we'll see you back over here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I also am moving forward. Let's see. Okay, and I'm moving forward. Antonia Norman, can you unmute and let me know how you're doing?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Great. Are you able to get on screen?
I don't know how.
Okay, I'm going to send you a request. It might help. And if not, well, we'll just go from where we are, you know.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Hello.
there you go. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
So I did receive everything that you sent in. Let me kind of give you the highlights. I did get, these are all from alleged date of April 3rd, and there is a no driver's license charge, and that has fines and costs of $181. There is a no insurance charge that has fines and costs of $281. On the insurance charge, I did receive a plea of no contest. There is a note here about getting a license in Texas and that you're studying to do that. And then on the no driver's license charge, I also received a plea of no contest. Let's start with the insurance charge. I did receive a plea of no contest. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, I would like time to get insurance. I just have no money right now.
Okay. So Texas law is really clear on both of these charges, unfortunately, that, you know, we don't get insurance later and dismiss. It's not a
Right.
compliance type thing.
Okay.
Just like if you had an accident and then went and said, could y'all cover this if I now get insurance with your company? And that they would all turn you down. So the law doesn't recognize that we do that. We have to be insured when we drive. Likewise with the license, in part because the license, not having a license in Texas can mean that the insurance that you do have decides not to cover you because you're driving illegally. It's kind of, it happens for a lot of reasons. Sometimes people have a, they'll have a, they'll have a dismissal. They'll have a license that gets suspended because of a drunk driving charge or failing to take a class, or they just don't have a license. And under Texas law, if you don't have a license, you're subject to being cited because you have to be licensed to drive. So I did receive a no contest plea on your license charge as well. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, I've been studying for the test. I'm just not confident enough that I'm going to pass. But I would like more time to be able to take that test. And as far as the insurance, I'm from Washington State. I haven't lived in Texas long. So I thought we were covered. However, when I got pulled over, found out that the insurance lapsed. And at this time right now, I don't have the money to get insurance in Texas because I don't even have $5 to my name right now. So so on both, I guess I'm asking that you give me time to get the license and maybe take the drive test so that it can be dismissed. And if not, then I'll pay the fines.
So what I'm trying to explain to you is that the law doesn't let me dismiss it. Like I
Oh,
could
oh.
give you time and you would bring back
Okay.
a license and the answer would be, I'm not allowed to dismiss it.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I don't mind giving you time if what we're looking for is a different type of option, but these are
Okay.
not compliance dismissible.
Okay.
So saying like you can have time to bring it back and dismiss it, I can't
You-
dismiss it when you bring it back.
Okay.
What I can do is, I'm also seeing that you're indigent and that I can't, that I should be ordering community service instead of payment. And I can do that and order
Okay.
community service. When I do community service, the total, which is 462, turns into 23 total hours. That's both cases total. 14 on the insurance and 9 on the license. And I can go ahead and order community service.
Okay.
The city is one of the providers on the community service list. If you work with them, they require that you sign a waiver. I need for you to come up to the court properly and sign the waiver and pick up your packet for how to find a provider. I have a list of places where you can do community service. They're in Temple, and there's often one within, very close distance to where
Okay.
you are, and you just get your hours done and turned in by your due date, which is going to be May 25th, a month from today.
Can I ask for more time because I'm going home. I'm going to Spokane, Washington for my daughter's college graduation. So I'll be gone for 10 days.
Okay, I can move that to June 27th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so when will you be here today? What time?
Well, you'll have to give me a couple hours because I need to get a ride.
It's not really giving you, it's you just tell me when you're gonna be here. Noon, 1 o'clock?
How about 1 o'clock?
That's fine. We'll see you then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're good to go, but they'll have everything at the front desk. Okay. Mr.
Thank you.
Matson. Oh, there you are. So we'll have everything at the front desk for you, and just get a good look at it before you leave. Any clerk can help you when you get here.
Okay,
And you'll read through it, make sure you understand what you're needing to do before you leave, and then you'll be good to go. But remember that the due date is a court-ordered date. So
Okay.
if you're not getting it done, you need to apply for an extension, or you could go to warrant. Okay?
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Ms. Norman. Stay well. Just one moment. Yes, I've got to. Yeah. Thing to do with, he's got vape, tobacco, they cover vaping. What would we have to do if we were in the regular program? Yes, yes. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate you helping with that. Leah McCorson, Mr. Matson, let's get an update.
Your Honor, we're going to go ahead and continue to final,
Okay,
but I anticipate this case will be resolved prior to then.
okay. So Ms. McHorse, what I do now is just let you know that this has already been scheduled for June 28th at 1 o'clock. And sometimes things get resolved before then, and that's fine. But ultimately, I'm scheduling the docket. No one else schedules the docket. And so what that means is that I'll take it off the docket if I believe it's fully resolved. If I don't have what I need to fully resolve it, it means I expect everyone to be here and it'll be on the docket still. So the way to gauge that is call the clerk the morning of it. If you think it's off, just call and check and make sure that the clerk took it off. If the clerk didn't take it off, it means I'm missing something. Okay. And that means we all need to get back together and figure out what that is. If it's off, it's off and we're good to go. Okay. All right. We'll maybe see you then, but it is scheduled. Okay. Thank you. You take care. You're muted, but bye-bye. When you're ready, you're good to hang up. Mr. Matson, I'm going to move you forward with Jason Orlando. Jason Orlando, can you unmute and let me know that your audio is working?
Yes, it's working.
Great. Okay. So I will move you over to the meeting with Mr. Matson and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I also am moving forward. And the person I'm looking to talk to next is Patrick McLaughlin.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you? I'm good. How about you?
Good. Let me get your case pulled up. File. This is a speeding charge originating from an accusation date on April 11th of 2023, and the fines and costs if you paid it are $254. You are 17, so a parent is not required, but I still always ask, do you have a parent with you?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's all right. We can move forward. I did receive a plea of no contest. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
With teen court, there's a $20 fee, and that's a cash fee. Can you pay that fee today?
Yes, I can.
And then with this one, what I would look at is a driving safety course option. That's really, at your age, the best option that we have, but you wouldn't have to go through the payment of court costs and the driving record. However, it would be due much more quickly, which is going to be May 25th. And the reason I want to do that is because your risks are really high right now when you get a citation. And the taking of the course does actually represent a reduction of risk. So I want to get you into that course as quickly as possible. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would happen next is that you would come to the court, sign off on your paperwork, pay the $20 fee, and we would also give you driving course information for how to find a course. You can take a course around town or a course online. I accept both. And you get it turned in on or before your due date, and I dismiss the charge and waive the remaining balance. Does that sound like a good deal to you?
Yeah.
Okay, what time can you be here?
I can be there in about 45 minutes, around 10:40.
Okay, I'll put 10:40 to 11.
Alrighty.
Okay. We'll have everything at the window for you, Mr. McLaughlin. And just read through, make sure you understand what we're asking you to do. And again, there'll be course information for you to help you find a class that will approve, okay? All right, you are good to go. When you get here, any clerk can help you, okay? You won't need a special one. It's just a matter of them pulling it from the back, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Mr. Matson, I see you're back in the room, and let me get Jason Orlando back over. I have no affidavit. Just FYI. And so let's talk, where are we with regard to the Orlando case?
So, Your Honor, Mr. Orlando has submitted proof of insurance to the court. It is a company vehicle, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this charge.
Okay, can I do that on your oral motion at this time?
You can, yes, Your Honor.
You have that, or it's in the file?
Yes, the insurance is in the file.
Okay. Mr. Orlando,
Yes, ma'am.
can we email this to the email that I used to set up this meeting for today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll email that to you here in the course of the day.
The motion to dismiss.
It'll be a signed motion.
Sign.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't need to do
Other-
anything else.
No, sir, you don't.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
And Mr. Mattson, I'm moving you forward. If I could, Margaret Dixon, that case was dismissed. Moving you forward then with Ms. Thompson, who is here from Precious Memories. Ms. Thompson, can you unmute?
Yes.
Great. I'm going to move you over to that meeting with the prosecutor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do need to ask quickly, if I call your name, if you hear your name right now, it's because I don't think you're here. So you'll need to speak up. Is Dustin Oderick, are you still here?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, you're coming up. And thank you. And then let's see. I've got a phone number that I can't identify. It's 254 area code and then 268. And you came in late and I didn't yet ask who you are. Could you tell me who you are? Okay, well, I'll keep trying. But for now, I will move on forward with Easton Hammond. How are y'all doing this morning?
May I interrupt?
Yes, you can interrupt and just tell me your name.
Boniface.
Okay, Allison Boniface, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll be with you soon. Okay, Eastman and Mom, how are y'all doing today?
Doing well.
Good. Let's see. So I do have an allegation of failing to control speed from April 10th and also no insurance at that time. The insurance that was provided was not for the vehicle that was listed. And it does sound like there was an accident. So I'm wondering, I did receive a plea. I'm sorry, let me back up. I did receive a plea of guilty on the insurance charge. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, he's already set up. Okay. Did insurance cover the accident?
No. No, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay. And y'all tried that?
My father did.
Okay. He tried to get it.
Yeah.
All right. And where are you in school?
The school or my grade?
No, yeah, you're both. You're a senior at Lake Dalton?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I can do teen court as an option. With teen court, there's a $20 teen court fee, and that's a cash fee. Can that get paid today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the other person, were there damages to the other vehicle?
No, ma'am. I hit their spare tire, so there was
Okay.
nothing.
Is there anything that you're needing to pay in order to make it right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. With this particular option, I know you're already doing a course for the failing to control speed, and I'm glad that you are. normally what I do is try to get insurance that's valid, and I think we have insurance, but I guess I want to check and make sure it covers you driving the vehicle that you're driving.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it sounds like you said, I checked with Dad. Was that Dad's vehicle that you were driving on this case?
Yes. Well, my vehicle now on his insurance.
Okay, so go ahead.
The
Mom,
car is
go
my,
ahead. The car is now,
The car is in his father's name, but they now have insurance that shows he's a covered driver.
okay. Has that been brought in for us?
no, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna need to get that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And usually we like to see a policy that covers 3 months.
Okay.
So it just would have the dates of 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah. And so can you bring that in with you today?
I will check, but I should be able to.
Okay. And then there's an essay that you're going to do,
Yes, ma'am.
and that will be your team course. Okay. You're already doing a course, so I don't see much value in you doing the same course twice. Just pass it, get through it the
Yes,
first time. Okay. So your essay is going to be due in 30 days. And we'll give you the topic and the restrictions when you get here. What time can you be here today?
10:30.
Perfect. We'll see
Well,
you at the,
I need to bring the insurance and the $20.
okay, the $20, yes, the insurance if possible. If not, I'll give you 2 weeks.
Okay, so I can come in at 10:30 with the $20, and I will check on the insurance a later
You can
date.
come by yourself.
Can I come
Okay.
by, or do I need to bring my mother?
Yes, you can come by yourself later. I just put it for 2 weeks so that in case you need it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you follow the guidelines, you'll gain a dismissal, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
Good to see you, Mom.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So moving forward, if I could talk next to Desmond Holmes, if you could get on screen and unmute, that would be great. Let me know
Yes, ma'am.
how are you today?
I'm doing fine.
Let me get your file pulled. There is a no insurance charge, and I did receive a request for a payment plan. Kind of had an estimate for a new job. I think you were starting a new job when the paperwork.
Yeah,
got-
I had just started. I was transitioning from being over the road as an over the road driver to a local driver, but it's been so hard getting a local driving job because I guess a lot of truck drivers got that same idea to be home locally.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing is looking at a payment plan. The fines and costs are $281, and I did receive a plea of no contest. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am. Because she told me that I can lose my CDI license.
Who told you that?
I forgot her name. I think I have the paperwork when she signed. When I went to court last week or 2 weeks ago, she told me I asked her if I can lose my license. If I plead guilty or anything, will I lose my license?
Well, I don't think a clerk ought to give you legal advice, and I hope that they weren't, but I'll tell you that, there are always risks with CDL holders, and frankly, we're not a CDL court. So I don't really know the impact that it's going to have on your license. I believe that the insurance charge is considered an over the road, a rules of the road violation, and therefore not eligible for anything but a compliance dismissal. So if you were insured at the time of the stop, there might be an option. But if you are not insured at that time, Sir Prosecutor, could you unmute for a moment? I would like your opinion. Mr. Holmes, give me one opinion, one moment. Mr. Mattson, my take on insurance is that it's a rules of the road violation. And as such, a CDL holder is not eligible for a deferral, but what say you?
That is the case, Your Honor.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a difference of opinion. So, okay, Mr. Holmes, were you insured at the time of the stop?
No, my personal vehicle was insured, but when I came on off the road that night, and my wife told me to go to HEB to get the kids something to eat. Like, I just came home. It was like HEB was just about to close, and my vehicle, my mother-in-law had my vehicle because I just came home in my truck, so I had to use my wife's vehicle, and she told me but she didn't tell me that the insurance overlaps till I got pulled over.
Do you want an opportunity to talk to the prosecutor about this charge before we move forward? I am not able to make any kind of offer on this case. You know, if you want to talk to the prosecutor about the impact on your license, he can't give you legal advice. There are very rare circumstances where he extends some kind of offer, and that is really his discretion. I have not had a bunch of cases with you as far as I can see. I'd have to double check that statement, but
With me?
sorry. Yeah,
With
with
me?
you. I haven't had cases with you before.
No, I have a clean record.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, we're saying the same thing. And so
That
if
is
you
my
want,
first time for any ticket. It's my first time.
okay, but I am speaking and I wanted to tell you, if you
Okay.
want to stop for a moment and either get some legal advice and schedule your case for a pretrial, because it sounds like, and there's nothing wrong with this. You were trying to maybe get some advice at the window. You're concerned about your new job, and you've got some circumstances that you want to work on. So if you want to get some legal advice first, I can move you to the pretrial docket, and you can get out there and maybe get online, see what the impact is going to be to your license, to your job. You can talk to the prosecutor. I can't make any promises about what that will hold, but it sounds like we need to pause for a moment before we move forward.
Okay.
Okay. So
Like
I
I,
would
I
say,
I really don't want to lose my license.
yeah, I understand that. Nobody would. I can literally tell you that everyone online would say they don't want to lose their license. So, and some people do and some people don't. But I have available a pretrial on May 9th, and we would set it back for that. It's a Zoom like this,
Okay.
and it'll give you an opportunity a week or so to maybe see if you want to talk to anyone first. And then you can talk to the prosecutor about your concerns in your case. He's not your legal advisor. He may or may not extend an offer on the case. But you're welcome to, get your information and get your driving record and submit it to the court and talk to him about the situation if you want to do that.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Because
In the meantime, you're going to want to maybe see if you get some legal advice first.
Well,
Okay? In the meantime, you're going to want to see if you can get some legal advice.
okay.
Okay, because the
'Cause
court
I
can't.
just got this driving job, and I like, so now that I have this job, I can pay for the ticket, but I just don't want to lose my license in the process.
Yeah, I know, but we're gonna go a little in circles here because you're trying to get legal advice, and I can't give it. I can't give legal advice.
Okay.
The clerk can't either. We're not your representative. Okay, I'm the neutral judge. The prosecutor is the other side, and the clerk works, in a neutral way. So,
Okay.
but we can give you time to meet with someone or go online and research it a bit. But this is what I can do. So I'll reschedule you for a pretrial, and that's going to be May 9th. And we'll send you a new link. okay, for the next meeting.
Okay, you're gonna email it to me?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
We'll email it to the email that we used to set up this meeting today, okay?
oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you get a copy of your driving record like you were talking about, you're welcome to send it. We can take a look at it.
Okay,
Okay. Mr. Holmes, thank you.
all right, thank you.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Matson, I know you were talking to Mrs. Thompson, and if we could, where are we?
Your Honor, I'm going to be reducing the fine on this citation in exchange for a plea of no contest.
Okay, what's the reduction?
The fine will be set at $250,
Okay,
and then court costs are $76. So it'll be $326 total.
okay. And when is that getting paid? I'm so sorry, Miss Thompson. I was waiting for him and then I realized you were talking, so.
It's okay. He had recommended I wait an hour or two until it's updated and then I can
Yes.
come down. So I could come down like around 1 if that would give enough time for the court clerk to do it.
That will work really well, I think.
Okay.
Okay, and you can also go online and do that if you want. You would go to the
Great.
municipal courts tab under the City of Temple, Temple Municipal Court. Give us till about 1 and then it should be fine. Okay,
Okay. I'll take care of it that way.
okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. We can do- this is- Okay, thank you, Ms. Thompson. We're good.
Thank you. I just leave the meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Matson, moving forward. Adelina Flores is our next person. Adelina Flores, can you start video? Great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. So I'm going to move you over to that meeting and
Okay.
we'll see you shortly.
Okay, thank you.
I'm also moving forward. Aaron Keller, can you unmute?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Give me just a moment. Aaron Keller, let's see. We're having a 4th extension request on community service where we had the hours due on the 14th of April. It's 27 hours. And I am looking to see we've had progress.
I think I'm at 19 hours. I can't remember, but I did send in the table with like the signatures and my dates.
Oh, like the timesheet?
Mm-hmm.
When did you send that in?
I want to say it was 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday, or I can check my email.
Okay, well, I'll look for it because I'm not sure. Hold on just a moment.
Okay. It was on April 13th.
So we have an email from that date. Just pulling that up.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it was an email.
Right, but I'm not, normally a clerk will scan it separately for hours, so give me a moment, I'm pulling. Because the note before that, a week before, says, that we don't have any hours. Let's see. So it just says, I've submitted my hours and I need more time. And let me double check, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I have it right here where a PDF was a
Yeah, it may be, but it doesn't mean it got through. And if you have it, why couldn't I just get it?
I can send it right now again if that helps.
This gentleman is named Aaron Keller. I'm not finding it. Yeah, there's an email, and he references the symptom. We're gonna look again, but we don't have it in your file.
Sorry, your voice keeps going in and out. It's hard to follow.
Right, partly because I was turning and talking to someone.
Oh, okay.
So what I was saying is, we looked on the 30th, we sent you a notice, you sent us an email, it says I've already turned it in. That may say a PDF on your side, but we don't have it. And we're just double checking. So hang on a moment, I'm gonna talk to the prosecutor for a minute.
Okay.
And I'll be back with you, but if you want to go ahead and send it to the court.
Oh, yeah, I just did. I sent another one. So you
Okay.
guys should have it now.
Well, I mean, yeah, it may take a few minutes.
Okay.
We get more than just that regularly, and it takes time to go through our server. 'Cause it's big. Okay, we're looking for that. So on the Flores case, Mr. Matson, where are we?
Your Honor, we're going to continue to final pretrial setting, but I anticipate this case being resolved prior to then.
Okay, Ms. Flores, we're scheduled on June 28th at 2:00, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And if the case is still on the docket, you'll need to be here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, Mr. Matson. Let's see. Dustin Odekirk is the next person for you. And Mr. Odekirk, let me move you over to that meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Is that the new one? Is that the new email? Okay. Okay. He says he just resent it. We're still looking, Mr. Keller. Hang tight. I'm gonna do a little organization while I'm waiting on that email to come in. Okay. Yes,
On the 13th, you did send an email, but there was no.
right. And he just resent it. I had her look too.
You just emailed this and.
Yeah.
but there's no signature.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Keller. All right, I have your email from today. Okay, that attachment came through this time. It's not in a format where I can credit it yet, although you probably can get it there. It's not signed off on yet. Sometimes they don't until you're finished. But I originally ordered 14 hours. I don't know why it says 19 in our system. This says 14.
Yeah,
Well-
that's the original document you gave me, and then I had a second find that were added to community service as well.
Yeah. So if I could, what I'm trying to tell you, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so ultimately it has to be signed. And I ordered 14 hours. It would look to me like there's 13 here. Let me just double check. There's actually enough hours.
But like I said, Your Honor,
Oh, I
there's
see. Okay, hold on just a second. I have, okay. Okay, the extension was to April 14th. There's 27 hours total.
Mhm.
Today is the 25th. I can't accept these hours yet. I can give you one last extension to finish. It does need to be properly documented. It needs to be the total amount. And my new due date for you is going to be May 25th.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Get the clerk going on it. Tell him. Okay. You can still use this sheet, but keep in mind the number at the top, because those cases got added, is 27. And it looks like you're a little more than halfway there. So if you want to get the rest in, I'll do that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Right now, it's still going to say 27 hours because I can't credit these yet.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right. Best of luck to you. You
Okay,
might,
thank you.
once you get all the signatures, you might just bring it by. But if
Okay.
you call, if you send something to us, call and make sure we got it.
Sounds good. I
Okay.
understand.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If I could talk to Sabrina Elias Zamabrana next, please. Hi, how are you? Can you unmute?
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
And do you have a parent with you?
No, my mom is in the hospital with my dad.
Okay.
I'm the car outside.
Okay. I have to reschedule you because I need a parent with you.
Like I can talk to her and she can come here.
I'm not sure what you're telling me. Are you saying
I can call my mom and she can go. He can come into the car.
okay. Just let me know like this when you have her in the car. Hopefully
Okay.
that's soon. Okay. Gotta have a parent. Okay, on the Odeker case, where are we?
Your Honor, we're going to go ahead and continue to final, but I anticipate that this case will be resolved prior to then.
Okay. So June 28th at 2:00 is our scheduled date. I also have an expired registration charge, Mr. Odeker, that is due tomorrow. If you've been able to get the vehicle registered by tomorrow with your late fees paid at the Department of Vehicles, and you bring in that slip that you used to peel the sticker off to us, you should be able to most likely pay a $20 dismissal fee. And that would be, but no later than tomorrow. Are you going to meet that target?
Yes, ma'am. The vehicle is already registered.
Okay, have you brought it to us and paid the $20 fee?
I brought it to the clerks and they told me that they couldn't do anything about it. I had to wait till they were the ones who told me I had to go through court.
That's a different case. So let me look and see what you brought your registration in.
Yes, ma'am.
And
They looked at
told
it
you- And they told you
that
that.
I had, sorry.
So what I have in the file, okay, I'll just tell you what I actually have. I have a citation, a copy of your driver's license, and a reset for tomorrow. I don't have your registration. In your insurance case, they did tell you that there was a court date. I see you, Sabrina. I'll be with you in a moment. Because today was your court date. And I don't see your registration in there. I see insurance there. So we are actually on our side, and that's, it's a court document. So what controls the case is what's in the court's file. And what's in the court's file is that, you have an extension till tomorrow to bring your registration in, that slip, and pay it, and potentially pay a $20 fee. And they even wrote that on your extension. They wrote it down at the bottom where you signed. So we don't have it. You're going to need to bring it in and pay your $20.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm just reminding you so that you don't lose that opportunity and wind up paying $100. Although,
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So on the other case, if it's still on the docket the morning of the pretrial, June 28th at 2, you'll still need to be in the court. So if you're working toward a resolution, keep up with it and work diligently. Otherwise, we'll see you here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
My mom is here.
Okay. But I told you to wait a moment and I'd be with you. So hang on. Okay. And so Mr. Matson, if I could move you forward with Tammy Morgan. Tammy Morgan, can you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me move you over to that meeting.
Okay.
All right, Sabrina, let me unmute you or have you unmute. Let's see, we have a few things happening, but we had teen court, and with teen court, we had a show pause because we were missing your essay, your life skills course. And let's see, I knew that there was a health issue when you missed your last court date. So I went ahead and asked them to reschedule you. And then so I didn't, we ordered teen court and there were things that you had to do. There was a life skills course and there was an essay. And I don't have those things. Did you do them?
No.
Why not?
Explain to her, because if I can't talk for you, she needs to understand you. Dile. Have problems to read the essay. ¿Cómo le digo que no la entendí? Inténtalo. I don't understand that, she has language barriers. I speak English because I've lived here. She just came to live with me from Puerto Rico. She's just been here for a couple of months now.
Okay. Well, she's been here since at least December, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure why this wasn't brought up earlier. You were talking with all of us.
Que por qué no se dijo cuando estábamos hablando, pues. Habla, porque si no, no. Pregúntale si puedes pagar. I can pay the ticket.
Is that what
Like-
you're asking to do?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I understand the language barrier. But what I don't understand is how we got all the way this far without you bringing it up before. Because we talked, you came in, you signed paperwork, you said you knew what you had to do. And now you're saying, I don't understand. And I don't really see how that happened.
Lo que te está diciendo es que por qué no lo dijiste a tiempo. Pues tú no le dijiste. One thing I wanted to mention also is that she doesn't live with me anymore. She decided to move in with her boyfriend. So a lot of things that I didn't know. She just told me that she didn't do any of this. And that because she didn't understand it. So if she would have been at home, I would have been able to do more with her.
Right. Okay. But I guess I'm, just looking at my file, you signed off saying that you would assist her. And this was all in February. Y'all both knew, and no one mentioned there would be a barrier until now that it's 2 months overdue.
That's true.
Sabrina, are you working?
Que si estás trabajando. Yes. She just started
Where are you working?
in the restaurant.
All of them or just one in particular?
Los Tres Magueyes.
Okay, well, you can come in and fill out a payment application and I'll approve a payment plan.
Que puedes ir y puedes dar un pago, un pagaré o un acuerdo de pago. Okay.
You'll have to disclose your income information.
Okay. Now that she's living, like, do I have to put my information or her?
It's hers.
Okay.
Are you working part-time?
Yes.
Okay. What is your income like?
¿Cuánto te pagan? 9 per hour.
Okay. So I'm gonna set them. Can you make a payment of $30 today?
How much, sorry?
30.
30. Yo no tengo. She's looking at her account right now. She has $13 in her account right now.
Okay. Okay, well, she needs to come in today. She needs to disclose her income and her expenses. I
Okay.
can schedule for her first payment to be in 2 weeks, beginning on May 9th.
Tu primer pago va a ser el.
And Sabrina, you need to understand this is not mom's obligation, it's yours.
If she has it before that, can she bring it in before?
Yes.
Yes.
What time will y'all be here today? Sabrina, when are you coming today?
So she depends on me moving her around, and I'm in a doctor's appointment with my husband right now because he got hurt. He was in the middle of a therapy right now, so it will be maybe another hour.
Let's say by 1 o'clock.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Okay, moving Ms. Morgan back over. Okay, where are we with regard to the speeding charge on the Morgan case?
Your Honor, Ms. Morgan will be placed on deferred.
Okay,
And the terms of that will be 120 days with a 6-hour course due by day 60. And she will pay the fine in 3 installments. One installment per month for the first 3 months, 85, 85, and 84.
okay. Ms. Morgan, is that your understanding?
Yes,
Okay, on the first $85, a month from today is May 25th. Will that day work?
that's fine.
And then a month after that is June 27th.
Yep,
Will that work?
that's fine as well.
And then the final payment, July 25th. The course due June 27th.
Okay.
I can email this to you and you can print it and sign it and email it back. Or you can come by the court to do signature here. Which will work for you?
The email would work for me because I live,
Okay,
yes,
we'll email that over to you, but we do need it back today, okay?
that's fine. I can get it.
On the other charge, you had an extension until today. This is a failing to apply for a Texas driver's license within
Yes.
90 days. Do you have that license?
I do have I have the Texas license now.
Okay, I think that you need to send it over to see if you can do a dismissal.
Make a copy of it. Okay, I can do that today.
And because if you miss your court date today, then you waive that option.
Right.
So we need it, okay? And if I can dismiss it, then I will, and if not, then you'll have to figure out what your next step will be, okay?
I can make a copy of it today once I get to work and just send it over by email.
Okay, all right, great. We'll get all that from you and we'll go from there.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Mattson, that should be it for you. I don't have anyone else.
That is my understanding as well, Your Honor.
Okay, then I will let you go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
You too. I will continue moving forward then, and my next person is Latricia Harris. How are you today? So we start with unmuting.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, okay, and I did look at your letter.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
are you hearing me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we had an 8-hour class due April 13th. And on the 19th, I received a 2-hour class.
Yes, ma'am, because that's what me and my daughter was able to get on. My daughter helps me with all my business, and that's
Right.
what we. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. I said me and my daughter was able to get on that 2-hour class. I didn't know how to go to the 8-hour because she helps me with all this kind of stuff with the computer. I'm not smart with none of that stuff.
Okay, I understand. The thing is though, there's a couple of issues. The dismissal option, that's an 8-hour one, and we gave you actually a list of places that do that.
Mhm.
And then it was late. So we kind of missed that dismissal option. What I could do is just change this to a deferred option, if that's your request today.
Yes.
I would accept the 2-hour class as a condition of the deferred. And then the fines and costs would need to be looked at. I know that you have filled out a form saying, I don't really understand it. It says you work at funeral home work with no income. So are you working?
I do funerals on the weekend.
Okay.
And they'll pay me like $50 cash a funeral. That's
What
you know,
what
that's
do you
kind
do at the funeral?
I maybe drive the family car or drive the hearse.
Okay. So that's more like occasional work.
Yes, ma'am. But what I was gonna ask you, is there any kind of way like, because the other 6 hours, I was trying to see like, could I go like to the Goodwills and do the rest of the hours or anywhere like that?
Okay, so what we had signed you up for was a real specific process
Okay.
where you do an 8-hour course and turn it
Uh-huh.
in by a certain date.
Mhm.
And you didn't do it enough of it, and you turned it in late. So when it came in late, it just cut off that option. That was a first offender program that we have.
Okay.
I got your letter. I believe you're sincere that you learned a
Yes,
lot.
ma'am.
So what I'm willing to do is change this to a deferred dismissal option.
Mhm.
And it's like a probation period of 4 months. And I would go ahead and accept your class because as is, what you turned in, I will accept the 2 hours. And then your fines and costs would be worked off through community service.
Okay.
And that becomes 15 hours of community service. And with a due date of June 27th. And I would need your signature on this document. And I would need you to get the information for getting your community service done. So you're gonna need to, yeah, you're gonna need to come by the court.
Okay, so it's gonna be 15 hours?
Yeah, that's to pay your fines and costs.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna charge you the money, but I am gonna charge you to do community service. To
Okay.
do as payment.
Okay.
And you'll be on a deferred, and that deferred, you're gonna sign it, and it says, no more offenses during this time.
Yes, ma'am.
Your course is due today because we've
Yes,
got,
ma'am.
and then your community service hours are due in 60 days.
Yes, ma'am.
If you go 120 days with no more offenses.
Yes, ma'am.
And get your hours turned in on time, then you gain a dismissal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you accept that idea?
Yes, ma'am, and there will be no more offenses. I learned my lesson.
Can you come by this morning, or does it?
Yes, ma'am.
What time?
I can be there in 10 minutes.
Okay, well, don't run.
Okay.
11's fine.
Okay.
And we'll have everything at the front for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. And thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I am moving forward with Ms. Crawford, Jacqueline Crawford. Can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally muted you when you unmuted. I apologize. Can we try that again? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're doing fine. I know you were worried about the Zoom thing, but on the phone is going to be fine.
Okay.
All right. So where are you with regard to getting your driver's license?
I've taken the test, I passed it, and I have the certificate thing, but the driving part of it, they only had the closest appointment they had was May 5th at 3:30.
Okay, I have a question. Are you currently, you have a permit? Or you have the approval to go take the driving part?
I have the approval to take the driving part.
Okay,
It's a certificate. I turned it in this morning to the lady at the desk,
yeah,
and
I've
she
got
made a
it.
copy of it.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got that,
relax,
and then I
relax.
have at my appointment.
It's okay.
Ma'am?
I've got it. I said, relax. It's
Okay.
okay. I've got it.
Okay.
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 So, all right. So we just need to give you a little more time is what I'm hearing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The appointment is set for the 5th at 3:30 of May.
Yes. So I'm just getting a calendar out. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Let's say, can we get that from you by the 9th?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there on the 5th. I can come to you on the 9th.
Okay. And, I need to get your signature on the extension.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you come by the court to sign, or can we email it and have you printed and sign?
I'm already here.
Okay, come on in and sign the extension and you'll be good to go.
Okay. Thank you so much. So it'll be May 9th at what time?
So it'll be like this at 9, but if you turn that in, if I'm able to dismiss it, because I'm trying to see if you're eligible for a prosecutor dismissal. And I think that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are. I think that you are going to be. And so I need to get the license before I know that. Okay.
Okay. So I need to come inside and just sign a paper.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We'll see you in a
Thank
moment.
you. Okay. Okay, and it'll have the time on there for me to call back on the 9th? Or I just come in on the 9th?
Like I said, it'll be like this one at 9. And
Okay. Okay.
We'll send you that link again. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. And so moving forward, Candy Ayers. Can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to move
Thanks.
to a different location. Give me one moment. Okay. I'm
Okay.
here. Thank you.
Hi.
Apologies. I'm at
So,
work.
yeah, me too. So, I received a no contest plea and a request for a driver safety course. The
Or
thing is,
deferred.
yeah, I
okay.
could look at it. Hold on. I could look at it deferred.
ahead.
I'm not able to do the driver safety course because the original court date has to be met by state
Okay.
law to be in that program.
Okay.
And that was missed.
Yes, ma'am.
On a deferred, with a deferred though, I guess my first question, and I accept your request for a deferred. And I would grant it. But I have to come up with the terms and conditions. So first question is, yeah, listen for a moment, okay? So the first question is, then when could you pay your fines and costs?
Depending on what they were.
So they're the same as they were, which is $254.
Okay. Is there any way that I can do a payment plan?
So I can do, okay, there's a couple of things I can do, but I'm trying to sort of feel out the situation because I'm not really clear that I've got all the information that I would need. So my first question is, are you able to pay anything towards the balance today?
Not today. I don't get paid until Friday.
Is it always on a Friday?
Yes, ma'am. Always on a Friday, every 2 weeks.
Okay. So on Friday, can you pay $85?
Yes.
Okay. And then 4 weeks later, can you pay $85 again?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just getting out a calendar, make got this right. So this Friday is the 12th. No, I'm sorry. This Friday is
28.
28th. Yes. Sorry, I'd already
It's
jumped into.
okay.
And then
It's okay.
the 26th of May. And then the final amount would be the 23rd of June.
Okay.
I think that one would be 84. And I'm just looking to see if I'm requiring a class. No, I'm not going to require that you do a class. Just 120 days. So your deferral will run from today until the 24th of August. During that time, no tickets, no citations, no failure to appear. If you move, you need to let us know in writing. You'll also be required to make a payment of $85 on April 28th, another payment on May 26th, and a final payment on June 23rd. And then 2 short months after that, on August 24th, if you've met all of these conditions, I'll dismiss the charge and it will not be reflected as a conviction on your driving record. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
Now, I need to get your signature on this document. Can I email this to you, or are you going to drive over?
You can. I actually, I work right down the road. I'm at the VA, but I don't get off till 4 o'clock. Is that too late?
No, you can come at 4.
Okay. All right.
So we'll look
I
for
can do
you
that.
around 4:20, okay? 4:30.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll see you then. Any clerk at the window.
You have a great.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Ayers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Faith Diaz, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So I received a no insurance ticket regarding you from March 6th. The fines and costs are $281. And I did receive a plea of guilty. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you insured at the time of the stop?
Oh, was I insured?
Yeah, did you have insurance that time?
Oh, no, I did not.
Okay. And then you're not working at this time, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, so I will order community service instead of payment, which turns into 14 hours of community service with a due date of May 25th. And I need you to come by and get paperwork so that you can know where you can go to do the community service. I need you to sign one form too, okay?
Okay, is that at the municipal court? The
Yes.
same one too?
Yes, yes, it is. Same place.
Okay, and I can go by sometime today?
Yes, what time today?
Maybe around like 1.
Okay, let's look for you between 1 and 1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you then, and we'll have a timesheet for you to keep track of your hours, a sheet for you to sign saying you understand there's no coverage if you're injured, and a list of places and rules, where to do the work and how to do it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. So, Ms. Boniface, can you unmute?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay.
So we're looking for a doctor's note from you, correct?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I haven't got an appointment scheduled yet, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't know what to do with this. I don't have a doctor's appointment scheduled at this time to get an excuse, but I plan on making one.
Right, but this has all been pending for quite a while. Some cases go back to 2020. I really don't, I can give you an extension if you're getting a doctor's note, but what I'm kind of hearing from you is that that's not really realistic. So in that event, you either pay or you do the community service.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
So there's really three options I have: payment, community service, or a doctor note. And what the history now is that, we've tried payments, that doesn't work. We've tried community service, it doesn't happen. And you're not getting a doctor's note. So really the fourth option is, you can let it go to warrant, you can sit it out.
Which is, I'm thinking about doing that. To be honest with you, I don't believe it's going to be, it's not going to be over 3 days of me sitting in there barrel counting it, is it?
I can't guarantee that because it's a lot of, I would run them concurrent, meaning that it should all go at the same time instead of one at a time. But
Right.
it's $1,700. So.
Oh, really? I thought it was only 1,000. Anyway, okay. Well, can we set up payment arrangements again? Is that an option to do that?
No.
And the minimum I can set up would be like $20 a month, if that's
No,
possible.
I don't. I've done that multiple times and you don't do it.
Okay.
And furthermore, there was restitution long ago on a case and you never paid on that either. Even when I ordered community service and said, just pay that restitution, and you don't really, I mean this without disrespect, but I don't really have a way to believe that you're going to do the things that you say that you will do. So
I hear you.
I just don't have a way to work with you anymore because the tools I have available, you repeatedly abuse those rules. So I'm not really willing to do a lot.
Okay. But you can't give me an extension on the doctor's note?
I can give you 30 days and that's going to be it. I either need to get all the community service in or a doctor's note, or you might as well just let me know we're going to take it to the warrant case.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Okay. I'm going to reschedule. It's not really an extension. It's a schedule. It's a reset of a show cause
Mm-hmm.
on that same date. Because at that point, I want to be able to either just sign the warrant or count the note.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 30 days now?
Yes. May 25th. It's a show cause.
So I'm going to bring either the doctor's note or some community service hours at this point still?
I would need a lot of them.
Okay.
Because I started this order in December and I've had nothing from it.
Okay.
But I will accept anything that you've done up to that point to the next date.
Okay. Thank you for your patience with me. I know this has been prolonged long enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Seeing no further